it's MK and I am back with another May I Scraplift You, and today I am scraplifting Michelle Carrick. She is a Penelope D, or was a Penelope D design team member. I am not sure if she is on the current design team, but this one is, I think, from 2019, so I'm not really sure. I just love all of the Penelope D design team members, you guys. Their stuff is amazing, and as soon as this stuff gets available here in the US, I will be like all over it, because Penelope D is a great company. I just don't own any of the products because I think it is in Africa, but don't quote me on that. So anyways, I am showing you guys basically my workshop kit that I had put together for Kit Conspiracy. I saved it for this layout because I thought it would be cool. I added a few things like this Tim Holtz film strip, and I thought I had a lot more in it, but apparently I only had this one little strip, so thought I'd go ahead and take it out and get it ready. I have this border strip from, I think, oh good, I show it. It's Heidi Swap Storyline. This border strip was actually used in one of my gaming layouts that I did at the very beginning of the month. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys almost what's left over in this kit, and I thought that this would be a great layout to fussy cut all of these pipes. Now I have to tell you, yes, I fussy cut them, and then I changed my marbles after I started dissecting Michelle's layout. So I figured that they weren't going to work or anything like that. All right, I also cut down my sticker sheets to what I had left, which are the alphas and border, just tiny word stickers and border stickers and things like that. So I didn't have a whole lot of stickers left. I have this really cool ledger paper left that has quite a few pieces on it that I feel like I can still use. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this wood grain or not, but I threw those in there. I do have several photos to the point where I decided I was going to create some flip-flops instead of anything else. Now, I also brought out these film strip cut files. Now, I will have the link down below where you can get these. It is an entire, like you get every single one of these from an Etsy shop. So I'll have that link down below. I also thought that I had another piece of corrugated. So now I'm thinking that I'm going to have to get creative on how this corrugated paper is going to lay across my layout, because I could only find the one paper. I have 3 of these gorgeous sapphire blue papers from Close to My Heart. And then for my back piece, because I didn't bring any white cardstock to this retreat, I'm going to use this very pale white wood grain. So, and it is from Stampin' Up. The first thing I'm going to do is cut a border around cut my white wood grain down so that way you can see the blue border. And then I'm going to, like I said, strategically tear my corrugated paper so that way it fits. Then I went through all of my embellishments, which I have these geared embellishments. They get set off to the side and I completely forget about them, truth be told. That is how I work, you guys. If I set it off to the side and it's not right in front of me, then it gets lost. Even though it's not lost. It's not buried, it's not anything, but it's off to the side where it's not in my vision, so I can't really see it. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to match up where Michelle has her aqua paper. She has it like behind the photos, then she has kind of a film strip between another layer of aqua papers. So and then at the bottom, she's got her aqua paper behind the film strip, but then again underneath her photos. And so I was just trying to figure out which paper. So I chose this this chain link paper as my aqua paper. Well, then my film strip, A, I don't have enough because I thought I had more, and B, it blended right in. It didn't show up like her printed film strip did. Now, I'm not sure if hers were washi tape or not. I do have a film strip washi tape, but did I bring it? No, because I don't remember to use washi tape. So I have to get creative, and this is what I'm doing, is I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to use. So in the meantime, while I was trying to figure that out, I decided to go ahead and cut more chain link for behind my photos. And what I found was from 13 Arts, this Mr. Handsome paper that had these rivets around in sections. Now this paper was kind of like riveted squares collaged all over the paper. So what I did was I cut up the paper around each rivet, each riveted square. So I had just the rivets, and then I'm going to piece them all together so I have just the first row of rivets showing. I'm not too worried about any of the rivets going down. So I'm just going to show, one row of rivets and then cover up the rest. And I am working on it looks like a hot mess, you guys. It really does. But I am trying to work from, my left page over to my right page so it's all cohesive. And I struggled with this layout in all honesty because of the fact that I only had so many materials to work with at this retreat. And I do have some papers going across to the other side, but then the other papers that I'm trying to work with are exactly 12 inches long, so they don't go all the way over. So it's just mind-blowing how this works, and I'm trying to match up piece for piece of what Michelle used, so that way I can recreate her layout in a way. I do have more blue cardstock behind my my photos. I'm not sure if I gutted my blue paper. I don't think I did, because that white wood grain from Stampin' Up! Is very, very thin. So I'm thinking that I just kept it as is. So, and I had to piece my papers together. So like right here, my gray piece is not quite as long as my gray piece on the other side, because of the fact that I just did not have enough paper to go where I needed it to go. So I'm making things work, and I'm going to cover up the gap. The gap in the center between the 4x6 photo and the 4x4 photo, I'm not even paying attention to that because it gets lost with all the other elements as soon as I bring them all in. So what I'm showing you guys here is I'm going to take all of the elements that I picked to put on my layout, so all the embellishments, and I'm just going to scuff up some of the items using my my edge distresser, because like I said, I was married to it. During this retreat, there wasn't a single layout that got made that didn't get edge distressed. I also picked out some really cool blue florals that had like a brownish gray, very antique-y looking leaves to it. So I pulled those out, and they are from 13 Arts as well. They're from a cut apart booklet. So the entire booklet is nothing but fussy cut images. So that's what I chose to do, chose to use as my embellishment instead of the gears, because I thought that I wanted to bring in this blue. There was a reason why I added blue to this layout, but clearly I didn't use any blue in making this layout. So just like Michelle's, and I know you can't see it because anytime I do a 2-page layout, I feel like it's distracting bringing in the lifted layout in one of the corners, because it's taking up my entire, a section of my layout. So I don't have hers shown, but she has a smaller photo up in the upper right hand corner. So I have a smaller photo as well. Now my photo, all I did was I trimmed it down because it's a panoramic photo. And so normally I can trim those down to 2x6s. And I didn't really need it to be 6 inches long. So I'm going to trim it down for as far as I can go. So I think it ends up being a 2x3 over there. I can't really remember. And my camera can't zoom out as much as if I was at home to show you guys from edge to edge. So a little bit is covering up, but not too much. You guys aren't missing a whole lot. I'm trying to figure out what my title is going to be. And I was going to cut this apart. This long border that says something about measuring time. I was going to cut it down and have it go along this edge where I kind of have a bare spot in my chained pattern paper, but I didn't, it was too much. It was too big. So I'm going to actually put it underneath all of my photos and have it go under there. But I'm going to figure out my cluster and see what I have. Here's where I thought I would bring in some green, and then I thought, oh no, nope, this is not a green layout at all. I love the brown, gray, they're kind of brown leaves. I absolutely love these blue flowers, you guys. They're just a watercolor mess of flowers, and I think they're so gorgeous and so pretty. The photos I know are kind of weird looking. Like, why would I want to scrapbook those? These are the base photos, and like I said, I'm going to have 2 4x4 flip flaps, one on each page, covering up those 2 photos. So my main photos that I want to be seen are actually going to be on flip flaps. Now, I'm not sure if I show you guys that. I don't think I do. I think I forget, in all honesty, to show you guys that those are going to become flip flaps. And I just don't know if I want them to flip out to the left and to the right, or flip up. So I'm not really sure. So I didn't put any of them together because I didn't bring any flip-flops, truth be told. So Michelle's layout, all her embellishments extend to the right side, kind of like flowing out from behind the photo. So that's what I was trying to portray. And then, of course, she's got that whole beautiful cluster on the left side of the photos. Now, these photos, I can't remember if I told you guys or not, but it is more photos of some of our trip to the Palisades. I have to tell you guys that this is the main cabin. Now, back in the day when we had a miners' camp, which is what this would be called, the miners had their own living quarters, which these ones are all, I think I've said this before, but these ones are all like dug into the mountains. So all you saw was the entrance way, and then you could walk into some of them, not all of them, but you could walk into some of them, and they are just dirt made out of, the side of the mountain, which is super cool. But this happens to be the main cabin, or the common room, as you would say. So this is where all the eating took place. This is where all the camaraderie took place and things like that. Mostly there was a stove in here, and that's what the pipe is right there. Is it's a portion of the piping that heated the place up. So yes, it was definitely where most of the miners spent their time, and then of course they slept in their quarters. But yeah, you could definitely tell where this was the main room, and where everything happened, honestly. And so the last time I was here, when I was about Kyrie's age, it wasn't as deteriorated as it is now, but over time, the weather takes away the concrete. It's the rain and the snow just slowly deteriorates the concrete, because concrete is nothing but mud and rocks. And so over time, it eats away the mud, and then the rocks slowly fall down. And so it's going to just be a pile of rubble. And then you'll see where the stove was, and all the metal pieces that were left of this room. But yes, eventually over time, even that tower that's in the background will disappear. All right, so I'm going to work on the left hand or the right hand page very quickly, so that way I moved it over so you could see what I was doing in this upper right hand corner. And all I'm doing is I keep referring to Michelle's layout, so that way I can make sure that it still looks similar. Now, clearly I am not doing a whale photos, but I'm using the same elements. So if she has a piece of paper going here, I want a piece of paper going here. If she's got elements flowing back into the layout, I want an element flowing back into the layout. So I'm trying to see what she is doing, and then turn around and see if I've got the same or similar element to put there. Is basically all that I'm doing. I do that mostly on all of my scrap lifts. Even though I'm not playing with the exact same elements, I still want to make sure that I have a representation, just like the lift that I am doing. I'm not sure what I'm calling it. So I do have the same elements. Now, some of these elements came from a little booklet also from, it wasn't 13 Arts, it was Studio Light. That's what it's called. It was this little punch out booklet. So everything was supposed to be perforated and you could just punch it out and use it. But of course, it's got all those little nubbins from punching it out. And, the edge distressor definitely helps with that. So they're not visible anymore because they drive me nuts. But everything is repetitive. So I've got a ruler from there. I've got these blue little squares that say 126 on them, which I think is a drawer. It's a picture of a drawer. So because I wanted to bring in that blue and I had those two elements close together, I left the 126 on the one at the bottom. There's no representation whatsoever. I just love numbers, you guys. So I left it there at the bottom, but then I covered up the 126 up at the top so I could still have that blue, but not not have that same number repeating over and over again. So, all right, that is my layout. I just copied what Michelle had. So if she had an element there, I had an element here, and this is what I came up with. I love the blue accent. It wasn't the blue that I was envisioning when I first started putting this layout together, but I absolutely do love how it turned out. And then, of course, the vellum leaves and the gray leaves all just came from my little hard case that I have all my leaves in, and I'm glad to use them up. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and listening to me babble again about nothing. Actually, I was pretty good at babbling about the layout this time. Go me. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Also, too, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with May I Scraplift You, and go check out Penelope D's Facebook group. It is down below because that is where I found this layout. So you might have to join the group in order to go check out the layout. But oh my gosh, we need to petition to get that company over here in the United States. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.